Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about 7 things you can do in 2020 to really rock your social media. Are you ready to get started? I know I am. Let's dive in. Okay, so today we're going to talk about 7 tips that you can implement into your social media plan to help you really master social media and get the results you crave. Okay, so the first one I want to talk about is posting with intention. That means this: have a reason to post every time, and that post must be something your audience wants from you. So that means stop the sales pitch, stop being salesy, trying to promote and self-promote all the time. What you really want to do is serve your audience. You're going to gain so much more credibility if you can serve your audience with the information they crave, the information that you're an expert in. So that might mean delivering tips. It might mean showing them how to solve a problem. Or if you have a tangible product or a service, showing them how to best use that service so that they can be better at what it is they are trying to be better at. So try to avoid selling at any cost. That means you're not going to sell. You're never going to sell on social media. What that really means is your selling is going to be a lot less or a lot less concentrated. So maybe if you post 5 days a week, maybe 4 of those days are days that you are delivering strong value. And the 5th day is maybe you are pitching yourself a little bit. But if you make it all about you, you're going to fail. But if you make it all about them, you're going to win. So that's my first tip. My second tip, and I talk about this a lot, is to embrace my batch and slay method. That means what I want you to do is towards the end of every month, I want you to pick at least one day where you sit down and you do nothing but create content for your business. So that content, so it'll go on social media. So I usually put aside maybe 1 to 2 hours. And that first hour, all I'm working on is the content for the month, the written content of the month. And then that second hour, I'm working on the graphic or the design portion of it. So really try and do that. Once you have that laid out for you, it just makes content creation so much easier, and it helps you stay in line with what your goals are for the month or what your focus is for the month. And I do recommend creating a month-to-month plan where you have a specific focus for each month, and then you're writing content to support that focus, if that makes sense. Okay, number 3, and this one's really important because social media is going to take a huge turn towards this, is create an engagement plan. Engagement is really important in social media. I mean, after all, it's called social media for a reason, right? They want people to communicate and to network and to meet people through the platforms. So how are you going to do that? What does that plan look like for you and your business? Do you have somebody that their job, all it is to do is to respond to comments and DMs and then reach out to new audience members or to find new audience members for your business? Or is that you setting aside maybe an hour a day to do social media engagement? And maybe you chop that hour up into 15-minute time segments and you figure out how to fit that in your day. So whatever that looks like for you, create that plan so that you have that in place instead of not having a plan at all. Because if you don't, the engagement portion of social media just won't get done for your business. Okay. The next one is develop a strong hashtag strategy. Hashtags are so important. And so the platforms that use hashtags the most are Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. So what you want to do is I created what I call a 10-10-10 method for me. And this works for me, and maybe you might want to tweak it for your business, but I'm using this 10-10-10 method as my basis, and it's really geared towards Instagram, but you can, again, tweak it for whatever social media platform you use. But the 10 hashtags I use are 10 hashtags that brand my business so that they're all about me. So if people are looking for me, they might use Laura Shipman as a hashtag to find me. Or they might use Batch and Slay as a hashtag to find me because they know I talk about Batch and Slay. So whatever those 10 branded ones are for you, use those every time you post. Then the next 10 would be to find your target audience. What 10 hashtags would you use to describe the person you're trying to attract? And switch that up. So what I have is a huge database of hashtags. And so those 10 hashtags for my target audience really turn into like 50 or 100. And I know that sounds like a lot, but it's really not, because the more you think about your target audience, the more you begin to describe them, the more hashtags you end up finding. So you've got 10 branded, 10 target audience ones. And then the next one I would say is 10 niche ones. It kind of is similar to your target audience, where I see your target audience is a real descriptor of what their habits and behaviors are. And then the niche ones are maybe the industry that you're focusing on. So, you would, if you're, let's say you're a carpet cleaner, okay? So what you'll have is maybe your niche hashtags would be like, hashtag carpet cleaning, or you're looking for new home buyers or real estate agents or home stagers or things like that. Those people, or that niche, that industry that would use carpet cleaners for whatever use they have. Okay, makes sense? So start developing your hashtag strategy. Start small, doing the 10, 10, 10. And if you wanted to mix it up, one of the other things you could do is use some popular hashtags, or actually even better, what you could do for that third 10 column is local hashtags. So people can find you in your local community. So maybe it's a mixture of like 5 niche hashtags plus 5 community hashtags, and then rotate those out and build on those until you have a really good selection of hashtags to choose from, and that you hit that 30 mark, especially on Instagram, every time you post, because you can post a maximum of 30 hashtags in your regular, I call it the static feed, your grid, or you can use 10 hashtags in your stories. So max out on those hashtags, use them to really gain new eyeballs on your content. Okay, the next one is tip number 5 is create a growth and reach strategy. So what this means is I want you to think, and this kind of goes hand in hand with number 3, designing an engagement plan. The growth and reach strategy is find out how you are going to find new accounts. Yes, you can do it a lot through engagement and things like that. That's not the only way to do it. You want to figure out how to grow an email list. You want to figure out maybe an ad strategy if that's something you're looking for. Figure out what that growth and reach program looks like for your business and implement on that, because it's not enough just to post on social media. Social media is just one spoke of that entire marketing wheel that we have. You really need to focus in on how you're going to make that grow so that you're always reaching new people. Maybe it's face-to-face networking. Maybe it's doing events. Whatever that growth and reach program looks like for you, go ahead and utilize it, and don't discount traditional marketing techniques. Okay, the next one. Video. I know everyone freaks out about video, and it's a hard thing. It's hard to see us on camera. It's hard to be vulnerable. I mean, maybe you stammer over your words, or maybe, you have your phone going off like I just did, and that stuff happens. But here's the thing is that makes you authentic. That makes you who you are. And people like to see that you're a real person and not this scripted, staged person. That makes you more approachable and more authentic. And the more you can do that on video, the more you will break down that wall of know, like, and trust. Like, people will begin to know, like, and trust you more, and then they'll feel like they can work with you more. So the more that you can get in front of video, the better off you are. And it's the number one way people consume content today. I mean, it has grown like crazy in the last 5 years. So you've got to embrace it today. Okay, and the last one is mastering short form content. Here's the thing. People don't have a lot of time. They don't have a lot of time to dedicate to an hour-long podcast or an hour-long video or a wall of words on social media in a caption. They really don't. Master how you can deliver your message concisely and in the easiest way to consume it. So it might be through an email blast. It might be through video. It might be through a social media post. But always look at how you can deliver high value in the shortest amount of time possible, and in a way that people can take that information and execute on it. So those are my 7 tips today. I hope they were helpful. If you have questions about those 7 tips, drop them down in the comment section. If you have an idea for like an episode or another video you would like to see content on, let me know. I'm always open to your ideas. So thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next time.